Hey, what's up, Otaku? I went live, I guess. What's up, Otakus? It's your tour guide here. Um, I hope you didn't see. Well, I guess, yeah, you probably wouldn't see. I was just going through my books. So I got up this morning. Um, I had an afternoon uh, appointment. I shouldn't say appointment. I had an afternoon thing that I had to attend. Um, and in the morning, I just kind of got up, had breakfast, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just go with $5 to Bellkirk Coin and Stamp because there's a book in there that I've been meaning to get. Um, it's priced at $4, and I was just like, let's just go pick that book up. So we went with the intention of maybe extending because we've already overextended the budget by $14. So we're like, what is $19 gonna do at the end of the day, right? Like, I have to convince my wife, hey, I went over budget. Uh, is an extra $5 gonna really impact that? No, she's gonna be mad either way. And I just thought, let's just go with $5. We're not gonna the Silver Age book they have there, that is there for $20. And that is something I'll have to just pick up, you know, the next time $20 rolls in. Next time $20 rolls in, we're going to go to Ancient Comics. We're going to do the whole rigmarole again. And apparently, I don't want to actually share this because for the local viewers, I don't want to give you any intel. But there's a shop with some inventory uh, expected to hit soon. And so, hopefully that $20 comes in sooner than later. And or something comes, it won't be $20. Whatever comes in down the road, um, I don't anticipate anything coming in down the road till maybe the end of the year or something, like a Christmas bonus or something. We'll see. We'll see what comes in. But anyway, yeah. So we went with $5 and didn't have any real. Again, we were going to dig in the 50% off bins. There's a book in there for again the $4 that we were like wanting to get. And so I went in and I dug and found the book. And the book is Lois Lane. I don't know the number, but no, I believe it's Lois Lane. Yeah, it's Lois Lane. It's a Lois Lane book. The cover is one where Superman's showing Lana Lang a statue of his ancestors, and it's like Superman and Lois Lane there, like a Superman, I guess, um, Superman predecessor, relative or something from the future, has married Lois Lane, and there's a big statue of them. And Lana Lang is pondering, if I marry Superman, then I will have married a descendant of my rival Lois Lane, something to that effect. Beautiful book, really what I wanted to add, but it was priced at $4. And normally, it's low grade and everything is just whatever. Normally, that would prompt me to just get a book. I'm not really that big into condition. But for some reason there was this big like red brownish oxidized stain on there. I don't know what it was. It just was this big blotch right on the cover. It looked kind of gross. And then there was a chip in the corner. And I was just like, for $4, I don't know if I want to bring that into my collection. So we just kind of dug in the dollar bins. We found some stuff here and there. And then we were digging like right in that same area where the Lois Lane book was, and we found something very interesting. And I looked at the price, and we got it. So without beating around the bush, I've added my first Superman title, and we're talking double-digit Superman, okay? Golden Age book. We've added our first Superman, Golden Age Superman book. I have a Golden Age Superman book, but it's Superboy 10, okay, which is not a Superman book, it's a Superboy book. This is actually from Superman Volume 1. It's from the Golden Age, and we've added into our collection. Now I'm going to tell you what I paid for the books. What I paid for this Golden Age Superman book. I paid $2 for the Golden Age Superman book. And then I paid $3 for 3 additional books from the dollar bins. Okay. So we're going to get to, it's 4 books for $5. That includes a Golden Age Superman book. And I was just like, all right, I'll take it. It's Golden Age. I'll take it. So we'll get to what it is. All right. So the first book we want to show off, I think I already picked this book up on a previous haul. Again, there's like 2 more of these there. It's just there for an incredible price. It's these like Batman Hush Chapter 2 previews, ash cans. The old man's selling it for $1. So I knew, I was like, you know, if I ever have $1 and I don't know what to get, and I'm in that shop, I said, I'm going to pick this up. So yeah, you know, we said, hey, we're going to pick up another. This is high grade. This is actually probably they're both flawless ash cans, but you got to be careful with this ash can because it's a black cover. The paper is actually it's not the best quality, right? So you got to really be careful. It's not like your typical standard comic book cover. So, you know, it's a little bit more fragile in terms of its condition. So this is one of those things, like with over time, as these things, you know, kind of like, I don't know, maybe people will collect these and keep them in good order. But these are ones that are printed in you know, lower counts, and oftentimes end up being harder to find, thus commanding a little bit more of a premium. And then when you've got it in super high grade, because again, the paper qualities opens it up to being, you don't want to just open this and read it or do anything with it. You want to keep it as protected as possible, and hopefully that this bag and board is enough to do that. All right, that's book number 1. All right, book number 2, and this is actually the final haul video of, because I'm not going to go beyond the $19 that I'm over. This we found in the dollar bins as well. And I already have a copy of this, but this one is in actually better condition. This is like I don't want to say it's a 9.8 copy, but it's close to, right? It's going to get like a 9.6, if anything. The spine is really immaculate. My other copy is near mint too, but it's just got a couple of like spine issues. Hence, like when I saw this copy, I was like, yeah, I don't mind having 2 copies of this book, because I honestly think this is like one of my favorite covers by Jim Lee. It's just one of my favorites. I just wish the background color were a little different, but all in all, it's just an incredible cover by Jim Lee. And it's this Dark Knights metal number 4, the Jim Lee variant, and it has all these kind of like zombie Joker-fied Supermans on there, just attacking him and stuff. So that is, again, that's Jim Lee Fire right there. I have now 2 copies. This is the second copy I have. But this first the copy we got today is in the better condition, hence the reason to add. Again, I don't mind having multiple copies of on great covers by Jim Lee. I just think they're great books to have. These are, again, these are all part of the Jim Lee collection that when the time comes, hopefully these books command a good amount of value, because more and more people will want to collect his books. That's the hope. All right, this next one is a rare one. So this book, there are books for like foreign books, right? We're talking about books published not in our market, the American market, but in like overseas markets. Now, I already actually have an Indian copy of Batman Hush. I think it's the issue in the run where Batman has a sword and he's going up against Ra's al Ghul with like a fire burning in the background. Now, I have that comic. It's a mini comic, but it's an Indian edition. Well, today we got the Indian edition for I believe this is Action Comics 594 or something like that. It's one where Demon is fighting Superman, and it's an Action Comics cover by John Byrne. But today we found that same cover from Action Comics 594 or whatever, but we found it on, again, an Indian comic, and it has a different trade dress. It has an altogether different impact here. I believe the City of Lost Souls is the same, but again, this upper area, it's changed from Action Comics to Superman, and it's an Indian comic. So this comic sold in India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. And again, it's like a 25 rupee cover price. Issue number 13 of this series from, I guess, Gotham. Issue number 13 of Gotham. But yeah, just a cool comic that you don't see every day. And it's really, I just got it for the cover art, but the interior of this is also, I would imagine, John Byrne art from the Action Comics run. So just a cool sort of foreign comic to pick up. It was $1. It's in kind of rough condition, but overall, it's the art on the cover that's really cool. And it's just like it's like a bigger book, I feel. I just want to say it, just like the size of it is not no, it's a standard comic book, I guess. I'm just going to compare it here. Yeah, it's still a standard size comic. It just looks bigger for some reason, but I guess it's because the action on the cover is just a little bit, it's a close up versus the original cover. So it just seems like the action's popping out at you. But that is cool. All right. We are now to the Book of the Hall. And it's ironic because I was just telling you, I think depending on the book, my aversion to the stain on the Lois Lane book and the chip missing from the book is because this book was a Silver Age book. And I guess my thought process was, yeah, I want this book, but I think I want it in a better condition. And I don't mind waiting, because I think for $4, we could probably pick up a really nicer copy down the road for maybe $5 or $6, right? Um, it would still be low grade, but it wouldn't have the stain. Visually, it was just unappealing. Hence, I left it there. Now, this next book is actually, it's about in as bad a shape as a comic book can be. And we'll get to why I paid $2 for a Golden Age Superman book. There's, first off, even in this condition, I think $2 for this book is a fair price. More than fair, I think. More than fair. This is a book I'm not intending to sell or do anything with. I just love the first page of this Golden Age book. And in fact, it's the first page that sold me to get the book. The cover, if it had the cover and all that, I think that would be cool too. But it's this first page. It's a complete book for all intents and purposes. It's just missing the cover, and it is tattered to a high degree. So I'm just going to get to what we picked up. We picked up Superman number 84. Here's the back. Here's the front. No cover. It's a coverless book. And again, it has rips. You can see the rips right there. There's a big rip there. There are chunks out of the spine. In fact, that puzzle piece there, that is actually not, that's a loose piece. I just had to kind of like put it there in their bag, press it, and then hope it didn't move around too much. It's kind of stuck in its position there. If I ever took it out of the bag, it'd get loose again. But right now, the bag is holding that piece in place. There's an interior panel behind that piece. Because the next page is the actual comic book, right? There's actual panels and artwork on and then the back is missing actually big chunks as well. Hopefully it doesn't impact the story. But something tells me that there are probably chunks from the story panels that are missing on the back. So it's in real rough shape. And in fact, I'm not apt to move it in and out of this bag because the bag will catch little pieces of it and then it'll flake off. It's really that fragile. It's brittle in areas. I mean, it's not brittle to the you can still read it, turn the pages, and it's still like an interior part of the book. It's just sections of the book. They're ready to kind of flake off and fall off, right? So, but just to give you a good look at this first, again, this is a Golden Age book from 1953, I believe. Yes, it was published in 1953. It's Superman in double-digit serials, 84, number 84. And this isn't like a incredibly high-priced book. It's something if down the road, if we wanted to get a low-grade copy with the cover and everything attached and in better condition, low-grade but better condition, we could definitely do. In fact, eBay has a copy on there right now, low grade, selling for $179. I think they're saying it's like a 2.0. So like a good condition, book. And I would say 100 something bucks for that is a fair price. If I have like $1,000 or something to spend, I think my attention would turn to picking up like some Golden Age Superman books, because they are higher valued books. You're not going to get them for you're not going to get low grade Golden Age books for like 20-30 bucks. You're going to pay about $100 or more for them for low grade stuff, but they're out there and you can definitely pick them up with the covers. But again, I paid $2 for a Golden Age Superman book, and I want to put that into context. It's a Golden Age comic book. There's only a set printing of these that are first prints, and albeit, in the 50s, the rarity of Golden Age Superman is a little bit less than if you're picking up something from the war period, right? So from when it was like early Action Comics into the 40s, right? Probably that whole decade of the 40s is going to be much, much rarer than the whole decade following the end of the war, right? But 53 was still a period. It was still a period of where the U.S. was involved in overseas conflicts, and I still think up till again, 53 is probably a cutoff point where you probably are going to have better luck finding books versus like closer to 50, 51, right? 50, 51 is probably going to be a little bit tougher, but things post 51, maybe even 52 and beyond, I think you'll have better luck with finding books that are still in existence versus books that were maybe tossed and recycled, right? So again, this is not all that rare of a book, I want to say, but at the same time, it is rare. It's a first print from 1953, and you just got to cherish these, whether they have a cover or not. And if you're lucky enough to get a Golden Age book from this era into your collection, I think, again, would I have spent $4 on a really, visually unappealing Silver Age book with the cover still on it, or spend $2 on a Golden Age book that is just on its last legs? But given that it's in my collection, it's just going to be, we're not going to take this out and read or do anything stupid with it. We're just going to keep it in this Mylar, and we're just going to hope that it the concern here is it's in a PVC bag. The bag itself at some point will begin to acidify, so we'll have to continue to move it out. We're talking like when I'm gone, the acidification process will set in when I'm gone, like I'm no longer on this earth. But for now, I feel like it's preserved for me to enjoy. And by enjoy, I mean just like taking out and just looking at it, just looking at the front page and the back page, but just knowing I have this incredible book. If I wanted to take it out and leaf through and read it, I could, but for the most part, I'm very satisfied with just looking at the first page, and it's a glorious first page. There's actually a lot of text and context on the first page. It gives you just kind of like